Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another exciting episode of Universal You. Today, we will be discussing what the immortals of Lemuria did once the island of Atlantis rose. In the previous video, I mentioned the first immortals, I and Tia, who discovered immortality by means of interdimensional tantra. And as a result of that, they were able to teach 333 other families this unique method for acquiring immortality. This group formed the first mystery school, the Nakal Mystery School, the original pantheon, the first archetypal deities, the ascended masters, the first immortals. All right. They then proceeded to the island of Udal after Lemuria sank. The moment Lemuria sank, Atlantis rose. Now they had their macabres activated, so they flew to the island of Udal, which is just north of the coast of Atlantis, and they continued their very unique spiritual science, their goal being to raise conscious awareness and enhance the evolutionary path of the beings on Earth at that time and today. All right. So from there they continued their spiritual science, and what they did was they proceeded to set out the structure of the Tree of Life over Atlantis. Now, for those of you who are Kabbalists, this is very interesting, but I'll try and explain it in more layman's terms as we go along. All right. Now, let me just say in layman's terms that the Tree of Life represents unity consciousness, and a certain half of the Tree of Life is feminine, and a certain half of the Tree of Life is masculine, and the center is the child, mother, father, child. Together, unity consciousness. That's the way I'd describe it. In terms of the Kabbalah, each Sephiroth is a completely unique dimensional experience of life itself, with its own unique properties and what have you. And it really translates through numerous cultures. All in all, the Tree of Life has a total of 12 Sephiroths and one hidden Sephiroth. Now I'm including the upper Sephiroth and the lower Sephiroth. Anyway, the reason I'm saying that there are 12 Sephiroths and one hidden Sephiroth is because if you look at the image of the star tetrahedron, it also links to the 12 and 1, the 1 being the center, of course, you see. So what the Nakal did, the immortal Lemurians, is they made a Tree of Life image over the continent of Atlantis, and they breathed life into it. They made a civilization that is completely in harmony with the universe and nature. Now, based on the evolutionary path at the time, this tree of life caused a huge migration. Lemurians who had to leave Lemuria came to Atlantis and settled on specific Sephiroths based on their own personal inclinations. All right. Now, they filled all the vortexes, but they left out 2 vortexes. This is extremely important because it is one of those events that are responsible for everything humanity has gone through in the past 2,000 years. Anyway, right, so I've established that the 2 vortexes were left open. Now, these vortexes were inhabited by extraterrestrial races. All right. One of these vortexes, I believe it was more on the northern side, if you're looking at the Tree of Life. One of these vortexes was occupied by the Hebrews from our future. They were given permission by the galactic command to travel in time and come to that point in space-time to realign their evolutionary path. Let me put it that way, which was great. This served Atlantis really well, and they brought a lot of new understanding that Lemurians didn't have at the time. To me, this is really fascinating, and it's why I speculate that the Hebrew language looks so futuristic in written form and in text form. Anyway, now the other Sephiroth was inhabited by beings from Mars, and they didn't ask for permission. I'm going to go into detail on this in the next video because it's quite important, but for now I'll just say that the beings of Mars were in a rather disharmonic state of existence, and as a result of that had utterly obliterated their planet, and they needed an escape. So they found this vortex, this unique energy, Sephiroth, on Earth at the time, and they just went for it. They didn't ask for permission or anything. But anyway, and there you have it. You have the full structure of Atlantis in terms of harmonics and what have you. Now, this is where you have the original Ascended Masters, again, the Nikal, the first immortals, and Thoth is definitely one of them. I believe he resided in the Unity Consciousness, Sephiroth, of the Tree of Life on the island of Atlantis, in Malkuth. What's important to understand in regard to the immortals of Atlantis, the Nikal, is that their macabres were activated. So, to put it rather frankly, any consciousness shift that would have occurred would not affect them because of their macabres being activated, because they have a very powerful synthesis with cosmic consciousness. All right, I feel I've covered a lot, and I just want to, at this juncture, say thank you. I've been actually receiving a lot of positive feedback from like-minded people. I've spoken to Arcturian and Syrian starseeds who find what I'm saying to be quite insightful, which is great. And at this point, I just like to say thank you. Do all of the subscribing and the liking and clicking of that little bell for the notifications. I've been told that I have to say that. But yes, in the next video, I'm going to be going into a bit more detail about what happened when the Martians decided to occupy that Sephiroth. But for now, keep in mind that right now, at this present moment, humanity, as a result of galactic intervention, has entered a harmonic state of existence, which is imperative to experience higher dimensional reality. Love yourself.